In this video, we'll demonstrate how to navigate in the 3D window. Before we start, if you have made any changes to the patterns within the file, we want to start with the original file again. Reopen the same file without saving the changes. We have different 3D navigation modes in vSwitcher. There is the default browser mode, and there is the Maya navigation mode. Let's walk through the default browser navigation mode first. Before we start, we maximize the 3D window. To do so, we place the cursor in the 3D window and press Tab on the keyboard. Load the snapshot if the avatar is not dressed. Okay, let's get started. When we move the mouse in the 3D window, the cursor changes to directional arrows. When we click the background, the view changes according to the direction of the arrow. We can hold the left mouse button down to keep the view moving in the same direction. When we release the mouse button, the view stops moving. To rotate in the opposite direction, place the cursor in the background of the other side of the 3D window. Press and hold the left mouse button. As we press and hold the mouse button, we can move the cursor around in the 3D window to adjust the direction of rotation. To move up or down, we move the cursor to the top or bottom of the screen. Note that the rotation speed changes according to the distance between the cursor and the avatar. The closer the cursor is to the avatar, the slower it rotates. The further it is from the avatar, the faster it rotates. We can also use the scroll wheel on the mouse to zoom in and out. Note that if the zoom in and out navigation is not synced to the scroll wheel, we could go to the preferences and change it. With the 3D environment set to gradient, we can use the background as a helpful guide to position the avatar. The darker area is the horizon. Its relationship to the avatar changes when we move the avatar up or down. Now it's your turn to try. Pause the video and try to navigate in vSwitcher with your mouse. We can also use the navigation arrows to the right of the 3D window to navigate. We can zoom in and out and reset the view. The default view is always centered front. We can use preset camera views for the front, sides, and back to rotate around the avatar. On the keyboard, we can use the left and right arrows to rotate the avatar in the 3D window. And we can use the arrow keys in our keyboard to navigate and zoom in and out. Pause the video here if you'd like to try navigating with the 3D views and navigation arrows. The default browser navigation mode also includes the focus mode. To use focus mode, we right-click on the garment or the avatar and then click Focus. When we do this, the software changes the pivot point of the rotation in the 3D window to the point which we have clicked. Now when we move the cursor around the avatar, we have a more flexible floating camera view. Because we're now moving around the pivot point, we can rotate in new directions. In the focus mode, we can press down the mouse's scroll wheel and pan in the 3D window. We can also do this by pressing down the spacebar on the keyboard. Then with the mouse, we click and drag the cursor to move. To exit the focus mode, we right-click the garment or avatar again and then click Navigate. Alternatively, we could click on the Reset View button. If we are zoomed in close to the garment, we can press and hold Alt to navigate using the cursor. If you're a Mac user, press and hold the Option key. Great! Now it's your turn to try navigating in the focus mode. The Maya navigation mode is only available in versions 2021.2 and newer. To enable the Maya navigation mode, we go to Preferences and change the navigation mode to Maya. This mode is great if you're already used to using the Maya software for 3D creations and you're used to the navigation mode in that software. In Preferences, when we change the navigation mode to Maya, an information tooltip icon is displayed next to the drop-down box. When we hover the cursor over the icon, information is displayed on how to navigate using this mode. Let's click OK to save the changes. Have you changed the navigation mode to the Maya navigation mode? Now let's learn how to navigate with the Maya navigation mode. We need to press on the Alt key when navigating in the 3D window. For Mac users, this is the Option key. To rotate in the 3D window, we press and hold the Alt key and use the left mouse button. Next, we drag the cursor to change the viewpoint as required. To pan, we press Alt and the scroll wheel on the mouse. Then we drag the cursor to pan. Alternatively, we press the space bar and the scroll wheel on the mouse, then drag the cursor to pan. To zoom in and out, we use the scroll wheel on the mouse. Or we press down Alt and use the right mouse button, then drag the cursor up to zoom out or down to zoom in. In addition, we can use the keyboard shortcut F. If no pieces are selected, pressing F zooms into the avatar and garment in general. When a piece is selected, pressing F zooms in on the 3D bounding box of the selected piece. Similarly, we can use the 3D views and navigation buttons on the top left to view the garment. It's your turn to try. If you're using version 2021.2 and newer, you are able to set keyboard shortcuts for the 3D views. To do so, go to VSwitcher, Keyboard, or Edit Keyboard if you're on a PC, and search for the 3D Environment section. There should already be some shortcuts set up, but we can change them as needed. In the 3D window, click on the keyboard keys to automatically navigate to the relevant 3D view. When we right-click in the 3D view, some options are displayed. To view the options, we must right-click using the mouse and hold. When we place the cursor on the background, then right-click the mouse and hold, these options are displayed. Show 2D window or Maximize 3D window, Reset view, 3D annotations, Load related avatar, and Edit lights. When we place the cursor on the avatar, then right-click the mouse and hold, these options are displayed. Edit Avatar, Avatar Resources, Focus, Hide Avatar, Snapshot, Resources, Undress, and Load Related Avatar. We also get different options when we right-click on a pattern, an edge, or a line, and artwork or trims. Those options will be covered in a separate video. To select from the right-click options, we need to drag the cursor over the desired option and release the button. For example, we can hide the avatar and show the avatar again. Give it a try. In this video, we've shown how to navigate in the 3D window. For more information, visit our Help Center.